MIT researchers have discovered a way to transform the electronic properties of nanoscale needles of diamonds. Long known as the hardest of all natural materials, diamonds are also exceptional thermal conductors and electrical insulators. Now, researchers have discovered a way to tweak tiny needles of diamond in a controlled way to transform their electronic properties, dialing them from insulating through semiconducting all the way to highly conductive or metallic. This can be induced dynamically and reversed at will with no degradation of the diamond material. The research, though still at an early proof of concept stage, may open up a wide array of potential applications, including new kinds of broadband solar cells, highly efficient LEDs and power electronics, and new optical devices or quantum sensors. Their findings, which are based on simulations, calculations, and previous experimental results, are reported in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The team used a combination of quantum mechanical calculations, analysis of mechanical deformation, and machine learning to demonstrate that the phenomenon, long theorized as a possibility, really can occur in nano-sized diamonds. The concept of staining a semiconductor material such as silicon to improve its performance found applications in the microelectronics industry more than 2 decades ago. However, that approach entailed small stains on the order of about 1%. The researchers have spent years developing the concept of elastic stain engineering. This is based on the ability to cause significant changes in the electrical, optical, thermal, and other properties of materials simply by deforming them, putting them under moderate to large mechanical strain, enough to alter the geometric arrangement of atoms in the material's crystal lattice, but without disturbing that lattice. In a major advance in the year 2018, a research team from the Polytechnic University of Hong Kong showed that tiny needles of diamond, just a few hundred nanometers across, could be bent without fracture at room temperature to large strains. They were able to repeatedly bend these nanoneedles to tensile strains as much as 10%. The needles can then return intact to their original shape. Key to this work is a property known as band gap, which essentially determines how readily electrons can move through a material. This property is thus key to the material's electrical conductivity. A diamond normally has a very wide band gap of 5.6 electron volts, meaning that it is a strong electrical insulator that electrons do not move through readily. In their latest simulations, the researchers showed that diamond's band gap can be gradually, continuously, and reversibly changed, providing a wide range of electrical properties from insulator through semiconductor to metal. They found that it is possible to reduce the band gap from 5.6 electron volts all the way to 0. The methods demonstrated in this work could be applied to a broad range of other semiconductor materials of technological interest in mechanical, microelectronics, biomedical, energy, and photonics applications through stain engineering. So, for example, a single tiny piece of diamond bent so that it has a gradient of stain across it could become a solar cell capable of capturing all frequencies of light on a single device, something that currently can only be achieved through tandem devices that couple different kinds of solar cell materials together in layers to combine their different absorption bands. These might someday be used as broad spectrum photodetectors for industrial or scientific applications. The process can also make diamond into two types of semiconductors, either direct or indirect bandgap semiconductors, depending on the intended application. For solar cells, for example, direct bandgaps provide a much more efficient collection of energy from light allowing them to be much thinner than materials such as silicon, whose indirect bandgap requires a much longer pathway to collect a photon's energy. The process could be relevant for a wide variety of potential applications, such as for highly sensitive quantum-based detectors that use defects and dopant atoms in a diamond. This early stage proof of concept work is not yet at the point where they can begin to design practical devices. But with the ongoing research, they expect that practical applications could be possible, partly because of promising work being done around the world on the growth of homogeneous diamond materials.